Hey guys, welcome back to Vince-VellCustoms. So we're going to do a work in progress video, but this time we're going to do some woodworking. Now I used to do woodworking back in the day when I was younger, and I know how to do it. The problem is I don't have the tools. But for this project, the whole idea is I'm not going to use the, like a bandsaw and all these other crazy tools you would use at a woodworking shop to make something beautiful. The idea is I have this Mandy statue that's on pillow that I got, and we're going to make a Harley Quinn out of this statue, but I want to make a chair from scratch. And I went on eBay and I looked at all these doll chairs, and they're good, they're beautiful, they're all nice, but the problem is cost and shipping. And I have this good piece of wood that's sitting in my garage up on my shelf, so I might as well use it. It's pine, and I could really kind of chop it up, mess it up, and stain it, and it'll look really cool chair. Plus, it'll be really durable. So I was able to pop her off of this, pillow and everything. So I got that off. So I'm able to start to customize. So I'm going to start working out, like a chair. So I designed something where, okay, so this is going to be the bottom, and then I'm going to cut out all these notches for like all the legs and stuff. And then I have this big, huge piece of cutting over here. So we're getting a little bit closer, and I'm just kind of like winging it. It's like, since this is going to be a Harley Quinn chair, I'm not really overthinking this. I have the idea what I want to do, and so as you can kind of see, this is the bottom. I'm going to cut this piece off of here, and I'm going to kind of get those edges off, and then I'm going to cut my legs and stuff with all these pieces. And then as you can kind of see here, I have this long piece here, which is going to be the back, and then this is going to be the big back piece. And then this is going to go where the bottom of the chair links, and then these are going to be the two back legs going down. Now, when I say I'm going to do this messy, the idea is I'm going to use my hand saws that I have, and they're really crappy. They're just like those ones you get at Home Depot for like, 50, 60 bucks. And I'm not going to make this look pretty at all. I mean, literally, I'm going to, these legs are going to be kind of jagged up. I'm going to saw this piece off here, and it might not even be perfect. It might be a little jagged. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece, I'm going to cut here, I'm going to cut here, I'm going to cut here, keep cutting, and then I'm going to cut these pieces going down. I might do some sanding, but I might might chop it up a little bit, bang it up, and then after that I got to cut this piece off here, over there, and then I'm going to cut this back piece. Now this back piece, I'm going to have fun with this. I'm not going to do your typical, where you have two bars going up, and then you have one bar here, one bar here, one bar here, and then, the headrest piece. I'm going to actually try something different. I'm going to get I'm going to get the Harley Quinn, like the comic book name, the Harley Quinn, the font. I'm going to print out something, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it onto here, and then I'm going to use a Dremel tool, and I'm going to kind of like Dremel out Harley, like up top. Now, if Harley kind of goes at an angle, so it's going to be like a Harley chair. That's kind of the idea. I'm going to have some fun with it. Like I said, I'm not going to overthink it, and it's going to be very messy, because what I'm going to probably do is I'll probably have nails sticking out of it. I'll probably have, maybe some rope tied around the edges and stuff. I don't know. I'm just going to have some fun with it. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to even if the stuff falls and it gets chipped and it gets banged up, that's the whole idea. So I'm just going to have fun with all this. So this way, when it's all said and done, you could pop her onto the chair, and then if then afterwards you don't have to. You could kind of put her anywhere you want, really. You can put her on a shelf and stuff, so you don't have to use the chair. But the whole idea is to kind of have her on the chair. So what I'm trying to think is, I have to do these edges kind of going around, because this back leg will hit it, so I got to kind of mess with that a little bit. And the idea is to have a bigger chair too. So this is where I'm at now. It's going to be like a long-term project throughout a couple months. Anytime I'm in the garage and I'm done with stuff and I have a little extra time, this is the type of project I'll be working on. It would be better for a summertime project too, which might end up, because it's really dead in winter now, but I'm just kind of planning it out while I can. So we'll see what happens. But this should be a fun-filled project, just doing some woodwork for a statue. Alright, just to give you guys an idea where we're at, so before this actually falls apart, I used a piece of tape in the back, and I cut out the board, so it's looking pretty good. It's kind of where I want it to go. Just gotta kind of fine-tune some stuff. I'm going to break down the pieces and show it to you, but I just wanted to get her on the chair just to make sure everything's looking good. So I like this part over here, so we're not going to be hitting anything. The piece goes back fairly well. So it looks like she'll go on this chair pretty well once I'm all, get it secured. Of course, I have to do a lot of nailing and gluing and really secure the chair onto this statue. But I think once I get this little Harley type thing in the back, it'll really come together for a nice cool chair. Then I'll get some add-ons, and I'll probably do maybe some kind of a wood base for the floor type thing. I got some really cool ideas for this, so we'll see how it comes out. But I'm liking it so far. I'm thinking this is going to come together pretty cool. So let's break it all down into some of the pieces to show you what's going on. Maybe I can do my printout real quick of what I want to do for the back of the board, and then see how everything just keeps progressing. Alright, so here's all the parts of the breakdown. Like I said, it's a mess. I'm not really overthinking this because I know that Harley Quinn with a chair is not going to be super perfect and stained and beautiful. It's going to be old, it's going to be worn, it's going to look like a wreck, but it's still going to scream Harley Quinn. So that's the fun thing about this project. So you see here's all the parts here. I got the bottom of the chair, the wood pieces. I got a bunch of legs I cut up, and then this is the back part. Now what I did was I liked this Harley logo better for this comic. So what I did is I printed it out. I made sure it was in scale. I'm going to glue it down, and I'm going to use my saw tool, and I'm going to take out the top of the wood of this piece. So you're going to have the Harley logo up top. And then what I'm going to do is, while this is on here, I'm going to Dremel out around the bottom of it. So we're going to see the scripted Harley, but it's going to look very messy, but that's a cool thing. And then even though the glue is all down there, I could kind of scrape off the glue. And even if it's a little messy, I'll leave some glues, whatever. It's like I'm not overthinking this. It's going to be a lot of fun project. So that's going to be like the top of the Harley Quinn chair. I might do some stuff in here. I'm not really sure yet. The only reason why I might not do much on here, maybe just like some kind of a paint or stain or something on there, is because I really don't want to focus too much on here. Plus, I need to kind of even out the statue, because even though they centered her very well, with a center of gravity with the pillow under her, and she's really weighed down, there's still a little bit of weight on the forwardness on her and with her feet. So I kind of want to make sure that there's enough weight on this edge of the chair, but there's also enough weight on the back of this chair so she kind of evens out. And I just have to, even though I'm going to use nails, I'm going to use glue, I'm going to stain, I'm going to make it look very messy, I still got to make sure that everything is secured, that it still holds the statue well, that it doesn't topple or go anywhere. So when I'm doing this, I got to make sure I have a leveled desk or wherever I'm going to do it, and make sure it's actually pretty leveled and working good. But this is where I'm at real quick. Like I said, I'm not really overthinking this project. I had the idea in my mind. I know what it's going to look like and how it's going to come together, but I'm not making it perfect. And I know a lot of you guys out there that might be woodworkers. You're probably laughing, saying, oh my God, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And like I said, it's just a Harley Quinn chair, and it's just going to be a fun project. So, I'm going to glue this down, and then the next day I get out into the garage and work on stuff. I'll keep plugging away on it. But this is a side project. It's just that stuff that I do where ever I got extra time, I can work on these side projects while I'm trying to get out stuff for clients. So this is one of those projects. So today I finished up in the garage with a lot of work. I finished this up, and now I could come back in and paint and get some other stuff done. Alright, so I went back in the garage, and I figured let me just get this done since I'm a mess anyway today. So I chopped off the top part of the Harley. It's very messy, very dirty, but it's going to get all sanded down. I got to do all my chisel work around here. Then I got to kind of take off some edging. It's going to look, like I said, it's going to look messy, but I think it'll look really cool, like standing behind her that it's Harley. So it's like Harley's chair. So that's where I'm at. I probably did this the wrong, I wish I had a bandsaw where I could like lay this on the table and I could just go like this and pull it back and, and do the correct way, but I don't have that tool, so it's going to look very messy and dirty, but that's kind of the cool part about it. So once I get back into the garage and I can work on some more of this, we'll come back. Alright guys, so we got a change of plans with the Harley chair. As you can see, this is what I was working on, but I kind of put this back on the shelf and I had to get toward other projects and stuff. So like I said, this is like a side thing. And I was talking to my friend Meta John in Canada. Now he does a lot of my t-shirts that I've had printed out, my business cards. He's done a couple of those stickers. I've also done a video in the past of how he did a laser etching for me out of acetate stuff. So I was talking to him when I was working on, and we're good friends. We always talk all the time, and it's always good to know people in the hobby, whether they just do it for fun or they do it on the side or whatever they do, because you never know what they do for their full-time job. So since he works at a t-shirt company, they got an etching tool, and he was telling me about it, and then he showed me this amazing etch that he did for this Green Arrow statue that he was working on for a friend, and the etching in the base is just phenomenal. Literally, it's just a resin base, and what he did is, I guess, you do it in Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever the program is, and then it actually etches into the resin. I was like, dude, that is amazing. I was like, I was just floored. So then I told him, like, I'm working on a project right now where I want to put a Harley name in back in the wood. I said, can you do it in wood? He's like, yeah, you can do it in wood, you can do it in marble, you can do it in resin. So it's great to know people in the hobby because it opens up a whole nother world of stuff. So now I got all these ideas. Now if I ever have to do a generic base, I could say, hey, can you etch in a flash symbol for me? Can you etch in maybe a Power Girl logo or something? Just like one of a kind etching type stuff. It's really cool. So I was talking to him. I told him what I wanted to do. I showed him pictures. So what I did is in Illustrator, I took this file and then I recreated it in Vector, and I put these three diamonds like a heart. So what I'm doing is I measured out the whole entire board, as you can see. Measure out the whole board. So this is going to get cut out, and this will get cut out top, and then what he's going to do is he's going to etch this, but he's not going to etch this where this is downwards. He's going to etch around it, so the Harley name is still flush up to the top, but all the other stuff is going to get pulled out. And then he says he can actually gradient, but it's not a gradient where it's going to be like completely coming back upwards. It's actually going to be like a step ladder, but that's okay because I could kind of go in there and chisel it later. So the idea now is what he's going to do is he's going to etch out the outside of all this, as you can see. He's going to etch out the white here, etch out the white here, and then it's going to be a step ladder to the bottom of about here, I guess. At least I hope so. Well, I know we got to see. And then what I'll do is I'll sand it down, chisel up, and make it look all worn. And then my other friend, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to his place. He's got one of those bandsaws where you actually put it on the thing, and I can actually cut out this a little bit more even. And then what I could do is I can cut out the top of the Harley fonts, and then all this top will come off, and then I'll have the Harley like this, but it'll be much cleaner. So what I did is I'm doing all my work for him first. I did all my Illustrator. I measured everything out. I've marked all my wood. So he has the idea of what I want to do. So now what I can do is I can just pack this up, send it out to him, and he can do it whenever he needs to do it. Because like I said, it's a side project. I probably won't get to this maybe till more the summertime anyway. But it's good just to get it out of the way now. And whenever he can get to it, he can get to it. So that's the cool thing about knowing people and just talking shop with friends in the hobby. Because you never know who's doing what that can really take what they're doing and what you're doing to a new level. But I mean, his bases so far, I mean, it's just phenomenal. I mean, what he did. So, alright, so basically what I can do is send this out, and then we'll come back whenever I get some more stuff done to it. Alright, so we got a little update, guys. Went out to the mail, and I got the chair back. So as you can see in the beginning, this is what I was doing. And you got the idea of exactly what I was doing with the chair and everything. And my idea was to chisel it all out. So after sending it out to Metajohn, and he inscribed it to the chair, I'm actually floored at what he did. So here is the chair, and I am just absolutely amazed at how this came out. I mean, look at this. It is unreal. It's exactly what I wanted on this wood, and the cool thing about it is after I did all my graphic work and I sent it out to him, he's like, do you want me to stop like over here and have it all inscribed? Or do you want like a gradient? I was like, well, you can do a gradient. He's like, yes. I said, can you stop the gradient onto the bottom of this piece? And he said, yeah. So it goes upward. It's like a step ladder, and it goes upward. But that's awesome. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's awesome. It's exactly what I wanted, and it's great. Now, you see the shininess that it's hitting? I asked him in an email what that is, because that's like my only question of what was going on. He says it's nothing on his end. It's probably the sap in the wood because this is a pine. So it's a really good piece of wood from Home Depot. So I guess with the electric, inscribe tool, whatever it is, it just got, just melted it and the sap came out. Because if you smell it, it smells like, a burning type sap almost. But that's okay though, because that's going to work to my advantage. I could kind of sand it down a little bit. I'm going to stain this. I'm going to make it look like an old chair. So all this burnt like stuff in here is going to play up to exactly what I envision this chair to look like. So it's going to be even better. Now, he said, if you do it on marble or you do it on plastic, or you do it on other types of wood, it's probably different types of stuff. So, and even resin. So resin's probably like one of the best things, probably, because you don't get any of this. But you know, this is all a learning process, and I'm like, the ideas are just going through my head. But anyway, he also did something really cool for me, which is a little surprise. So now it even opens up more possibilities. So you can see the bottom of this chair. This is what I cut it out, and this is the back two legs of the chair. This is the top of the chair, and then I'm going to put the seat in. He he did this for me. He put this little Harley Quinn piece in here. It's from an artist he found on DeviantArt, so he just wanted to do a little extra because this square is going to be cut out. So he just did this. So this is really cool though, because I can utilize this for another custom. Maybe I can use this on a different chair down the line. It's just really cool. So this is inscribed out of here too. So what you can do, and this opens up a lot of possibilities now. Say you got a Harley Quinn statue and it's got a very flat base, and you want to put like a Harley logo on there, or you want to do a silhouette of a drawing you did. You know, you can contact John and you can say, this is my drawing, and then what he could do on his end, he can you know, set it up in like a vector in Illustrator, or if you know how to do it, you can do all that work, and you can say, hey, here's the file, here's the base, put it here in this spot, and let's go to town on it, you know. So this opens up a lot of possibilities. The other thing too is, like, say you did a logo or a drawing, you can put it out on a piece of wood or plastic or resin. You can have him inscribe it, then you can get it back, and then you can make a mold and make copies of it. You know, so the possibilities are endless now, and I got a lot of ideas rolling in my head. I'm even going to probably send him my Kid Flash base that I did a while back. Check that out on my YouTube channel. And I want to put, you know, a Flash logo probably on the base now. So, you know, I'm looking at some of my older statues that got flat bases. I'm like, man, I could do some really cool stuff on that now. So I got some good ideas. So the other thing too is you can see how it's kind of like a little warping around here like this. This is probably because it's wood, I think he said. I don't think you get this from the plastics or the marbles. I think it's just because the way it got heated up with the wood, it kind of warps a little bit. But that's good though. I like that because, like I said, this is going to lend more to the statue. Well, this is getting cut out anyway, this top piece. But anything over here is going to be a little bit warpy, which is cool. I like it. So I'm really excited about this project now. I think this chair is going to really set this statue, you know, really apart once it's all done. You know, I'll be sanding all this down. I'll be staining all this. This will be cut out and just looking really good. So that's where we're at with the chair. We'll probably end this at part 1 now, just to get this up on YouTube, just to show you guys. I got a lot more work to do. I got to go over to my friend's house, and I got to bandsaw this top off, and I got to bandsaw this piece out, because if I use my tool right now that I have in the garage to hand one, I'll probably mess up and I'll probably break something and screw the whole piece up. So I wanted to make sure I get the right tool to get this all off. So we're going to keep plugging away on this, and we'll come back with some more parts of this video series.